Life's full of lots of where are you moments. I wonder for you, what are some of the big where are you moments that's been in your life so far? A huge one for me was quite a few years ago when Princess Diana died. I think I remember being at Box Hill Corps with the cadets brigading, and we all stopped and prayed at one point. We were just so shocked at what had happened. I wonder if you remember some of the stuff that was happening leading up to that. And then after it, where the Queen wanted to have a private, dignified space to grieve, but the nation just couldn't help themselves. In fact, the world couldn't help themselves. And so as her funeral car slowly made its way from the funeral, we saw this incredible outpouring of people where they started throwing flowers in her path. An amazing moment. It reminds me a little bit of another amazing moment we're actually celebrating today in church. We're celebrating the incredible moment where Jesus comes into Jerusalem. And much like we had with the Queen and Princess Diana, the officials wanted to keep it quiet. Don't sing all the praise, don't do all the stuff. In the other Gospels, apart from Luke, we hear about how branches are being thrown in the way. In Luke, we hear about clothes that are just being put in front of Jesus as they sing these hymns and songs of "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." And they can't help but spontaneously throw their cloaks in front of Jesus as he comes in peacefully, entering Jerusalem. But the officials are scared. What does this mean? What's going to happen now? And so they say to Jesus, keep it quiet, stop people singing. Are they scared about how Pilate will react to this? Are they scared about other people's responses? Why do they say this? In some respects, we don't know. But what we do know is Jesus' response. If we keep the crowds quiet, if they're not allowed to sing praise to God, then the very creation itself will sing praise. John 1 talks about, in the beginning was the Word was God and was with God. Jesus is the Word. He was the agent. He was the one that made this beautiful creation come into being. The very creation itself talks about how amazing our God is. It gives us a glimpse of the glory of God. In fact, the Psalms talk about God's fingertips. He doesn't even need to use his whole hands, but his fingertips have made this beautiful earth, fashioned the stars, created incredible, whimsical animals for us to enjoy. In fact, he creates so much that we don't even get to see some of the beauty. And so as we come through Easter, we hear this incredible message of the earth singing praises to God. The most exciting thing for me about Easter as we move through this time comes to Sunday, where on Sunday we see Jesus in John resurrected and sitting in the garden. Often when we think of the resurrection, it's proof that Jesus really has forgiven our sins, but there's even more to that, which is exciting. Because here we see Jesus resurrected in the garden. And when his followers come and see him, they mistake him for a gardener. Later on, when his disciples are fishing in this beautiful sea that has been overfished, Jesus says, turn your net to the other side. And all of a sudden, there are fish aplenty. Is that a great idea about Jesus having power? Yeah, but what's the power about? It's a nice story because we think that Jesus is trying to feed his disciples so he can have a chat, but we see something bigger, something more exciting. Here is the resurrected Jesus, replenishing and renewing creation. Here's just a taste of what it's going to be like when Jesus comes again in his full glory. The most exciting thing I think about Easter is finally we see the resurrected Jesus. We see the world as it's going to be. We have a hope. We have a hope, one, that we will be renewed and transformed, but also that our whole earth will be renewed and transformed too. Jesus is the Lord of creation. The very rocks themselves will cry out if we keep quiet. I wonder if you'll stop for a moment and listen to creation. Have a look outside at the stars. What does it tell us of the nature of God? What does it tell us of the nature of Jesus? Here we have a loving Creator who cares for even the littlest of things, and he cares for us.